After 20 years of trading, I've used virtually every chart time frame out there, from the chaos of the 1-minute chart to the patience required on the daily chart. And today, I'm going to rank them all, honestly, based on what actually makes me money. This is not going to be the answer that you may expect. Hello everyone, I'm Kathy Lien with BK Traders. Today, we're doing something completely different. Instead of talking about one trading strategy or one setup, I'm going to give you my honest ranking of the most popular trading timeframes and how I feel about them, from the 1-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 15-minute, 1-hour, and 4-hour chart. I'll tell you who each one is actually suited for, what the real trade-offs are, and which ones I use personally every single day. Stay to the end because my number one pick might actually surprise you. Let's start at the bottom of my list, the 1-minute chart. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The 1-minute chart or even the 2-minute chart is chaotic. Every tick feels like a signal. Every candle urges you to trade. But most of all, it's just noise. On a 1-minute chart, you can't tell if you're looking at a real trend or just random fluctuations because it simply moves too quickly. Your emotions are constantly triggered, and your transaction costs could end up eating your profits fast because you're actually trading so frequently. Now, could a more experienced scalper make money on it? Certainly. Boris, my trading partner, loves to trade the 1-minute and 2-minute charts, and he does it very, very well. But it takes years of screen time, a lot of discipline, and an iron stomach. For the vast majority of traders, myself included, the 1-minute chart is more or less a trap. It's what I put into the C tier. Move on. Now, the 5-minute chart. This is where things get a little bit more interesting. The 5-minute chart has a real sweet spot for short-term traders. It's fast enough to catch breakouts and momentum moves, but it's also clean enough to actually see what's happening in the market in real time. It smooths out most of that 1-minute or even 2-minute noise. I like to use the 5-minute chart for one strategy in particular, and that's the New York session breakout. The idea is quite simple. Identify the high and low of the London session range. Then what you want to do is you want to wait for a confirmed breakout, not just any break. What you want to see is you want to see a break, a retest, and then the real move. And when it works, you're looking at 30, 60 pips on the euro dollar or pound dollar. I also like to use the 5-minute chart to trade big news events like the U.S. non-farm payrolls report or the U.S. inflation report. I like to mark the highs and lows in the 5-minute news candle and wait for the breakout. The 5-minute chart is also excellent for timing entries on higher time frame setups. So for example, if I see a trade on the 1-hour chart, I might zoom down to the 5-minute chart to get a sharper entry to make sure that I'm buying into strength and not buying into weakness. The limitation though is that you need to be at your screen and you need to be disciplined because fast charts can tempt you into reckless over trading. And that's why it's in the B tier. Solid, but not for everyone. The 15-minute chart, on the other hand, is underrated. There's so many different ways to trade the 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart is great for trading session breakouts, like the New York Open breakout. I've actually been teaching a strategy on this time frame for over a decade, and it's actually a reversal strategy. It's called the extreme fade, which uses Bollinger Bands to pick tops and bottoms with precision. The key insight is that you need to be using 3 standard deviation Bollinger Bands, not 2. When price closes outside the 3rd standard deviation Bollinger Band and then it reverses back into the 2nd, that's your signal for a potential reversal. More recently, I've been trading the 15-minute chart on NASDAQ and gold with our BK traders during the Asia session, and the results have been incredible. I've really taken a liking to the 15-minute chart on NASDAQ and gold. You can catch nice trending moves that form during the best times of the day using exponential moving average crossovers. The 15-minute chart gives you a much better risk reward than the 5-minute chart and more high-quality trade opportunities than the 5-minute chart, and in addition to better trading opportunities than, for example, the 1-hour chart. The catch is that you still need to be watching the market fairly actively, and picking tops and bottoms requires patience and confirmation. If you trade reversals without that confirmation, like the extreme fade, you could get destroyed. So I put it into my A tier. Excellent for traders who want more action than the hourly. The 4-hour chart is where swing traders live, and for good reason. My 4-hour chart strategy uses 2 simple moving averages, the 5 SMA and the 50 SMA. When the 5 SMA crosses above the 50 SMA, you want to look for a long. And when it crosses below it, you want to look for a short. But here's the wrinkle. You don't want to take the crossover trade immediately. Instead, what you want to do is you want to wait for price to pull back to the 5 SMA and then enter. That simple filter turned 6 out of 7 of my recent trades in the Forex into winners. From the 4-hour charts, I think they're exceptional because it eliminates the intraday noise while still giving you multiple trading opportunities per week. You don't need to watch your screen constantly, and you can check it a few times a day and still catch high-quality moves. It works very well on NASDAQ, US 30, gold, and just Forex, but it is still in my B tier because the risk-reward tends to be higher than the 1-hour charts. In my opinion, the 15-minute and the best time frame that I shared now tends to have higher accuracy trades. So now let's talk about my #1 favorite time frame to trade. And that, after 20 years of trading, is the 1-hour chart. And here's why. The 1-hour chart does something no other time frame does. It captures the true sentiment of the market and the direction of the trading day, because 4 hours is just too long for that. 1 hour is the sweet spot. So it captures the direction of the trading day without the noise of the shorter time frames and without the long delay of the daily or the 4-hour time frames. And the pips can be meaningful. On a good trade, you can be looking for 20, 40, 60, even 80 pips. And typically you're in and out within 36 hours, which for me personally is the sweet spot. The strategy I've been trading on this time frame for, better part of a decade is called my ZIP strategy, and looks at both short and medium term trend alignment using multiple moving averages across the 1-hour chart. And, what I really love about this is that it does the best at specific times of the day, and being able to focus those trading on the Asia or the New York session is the reason why ZIP has not seen a losing month since June of 2023. Of course, past performance is not indicative of future results. But with the ZIP strategy on the 1-hour chart, you buy when everything lines up. You sell when everything lines up on the bearish side. And, of course, having a fundamental catalyst doesn't hurt. And when you have all that, you have a high conviction trade. And the results? This strategy made money 31 out of 36 months through COVID, banking crisis, rate hike cycles. The worst monthly loss was under 400 pips. A tier. My #1, and the one I recommend to most traders. So here's the full ranking. A, 1 hour, best balance of clarity, opportunity. I also put the 15-minute chart at the 1 hour. B tier, the 4 hour. Excellent for swing traders, less screen time required. And the 5-minute chart is also in the B tier. Both have a place but require more discipline. And the 1-minute chart, it's C tier. Unless you have years of experience and nerves of steel, the honest truth, it's better to just let that one go than let your emotions take over. But if you want to ask me which one can give you the best shot at consistent profitability, I would have to say it's the 1-hour chart followed by the 15-minute chart. If you want to see any of these strategies in more detail, I've linked videos on each time frame in the description below. And if you're not sure which time frame is right for you, drop your situation in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. I read every single one of them. If this was helpful, please hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments what time frame you are currently trading. I'd love to know, and I'll see you in the next one.